Oh, by the way, the word of night, Hawkeye, is definitely convincing. That's the word.
Convincing.
Convincing.
That's the word of the night. What are we, Sesame Street? But countdown is on. We're gonna go ahead and get into the second game here
I
in
mean,
just a
if
few
we
moments.
could have Sesame Street's ratings, we would be wildly successful.
Yeah, I would like to be bought out by HBO as well. So
That's
if you
the
hear this HBO, buy the RSL out.
it's the end game.
we'll take we'll take that dirty esports money. But
Yeah.
while we're waiting for that esports money to come into my pockets, we're in the second match here, and in the bottom right corner of Terraform is going to be the Red Zerg from Flipside Tactics, making it look easy that last game. It is JonSnow.
Yes. All right, question: do you think JonSnow is more of a fan of Cookie Monster or Big Bird?
I'd like to think he's a cookie monster
All right, all right.
because Zerg being kind of monster-ish.
And spawning in the top left, definitely Big Bird. Just look at the Nexus; it's yellow and everything. We have down a game, but showing some pretty scary builds. We have Strange on Cascade, which we remember. Uh-oh. Tell me about Terraform, Hawkeye. What are you worried out of coming out of Protoss on a map like this?
I'm actually not worried about anything that comes out of Protoss because I can defeat them with my arms tied around my
Ow.
back.
We're gonna let's get pure on afterwards, or ask Strange if he can stay for a show match. And got some,
I'm gonna have to politely decline. There's a
yeah.
reason why I'm a tournament organizer and not participating in a tournament.
Well, as your fellows are, I will talk about what scares me on this map. To be honest, very safe play is what worries me on this particular map because there's so many places. I like to let me put it this way. I like to think of Terraform as choke point the map. It's like look at this. Wherever you push down, it's just these tightly constricted corridors that are really hard to take those big sweeping fights that Zerg wants. It's the opposite of Cactus Valley, where there's just open space for days. It's very, very difficult to stop a turtling Protoss player. We see a Forge opener coming out of Strange, but JonSnow with the constant safe reads going with that pool first, effectively denying this cheese before it could even get off the ground.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Cannon Rush's Hawkeye? How does it feel?
Well, I remember that when I was starting StarCraft and just getting into Zerg, and like I used to be a Terran player, but I just kind of it didn't feel like playing as a Terran. Not because of the units being overpowered and everything, but I just wasn't getting with the flow of the macros. So I just tried out Zerg, and Zerg's kind of how I felt. But I was a bronze level at one point, and I remember my first cannon rush. It was you remember that four-player map that had the random golds in between the bases,
I do.
and
Are you
there's rocks there.
In Kulas Ravine, that's it.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
That is an ancient map, good sir.
Yeah, that was the map that I got my first cannon rush on as a Zerg player. And I remember I vowed that no more cannon rushes would affect my play and
That's why
defeat
I
me
open
in
up.
a very
That's why.
easy opener.
That's why I open up 9 pool every game.
Unfortunately, my vows for revenge for the cannon rush and to defend any cannon rush have
So,
not been fully completed.
Jon Snow will not be getting in, and we see a probe out on the map, hoping to get some deviousness. The two geysers are gotten relatively quickly this game, so we are going to be seeing some kind of techish play. Nothing like that Zealot opener that we saw last game, which I wouldn't expect to see because it's considerably less effective on a map like this, where scouting is almost guaranteed for Zerg. Jon Snow sending in that Overlord really early, probably to scout the gas timing, more so because he knows there's no Stalker out yet with that late-ish Cybercore. That's just how it is with Nexus Forge Gateway. The Cybercore is just so delayed that you can really just scout for days. On Jon Snow's side of the map, we haven't seen him take any gases yet, which means we can probably expect him to take double 6-minute gas geysers, as is the norm.
Yeah, and he just did that right now.
Oh,
So a little bit early, but that's right around the 6 minute mark, like you were
yeah.
saying.
It's a little early. 530 gas geysers would be indicative of something like a really, really fast roast wing bust off of hatchery tech. But this is probably just going to be quicker than normal tech to answer whatever might come out of Strange. 1 second, god damn it. Good luck, Hawkeye.
Oh no, Tramp leaving me in the dark. I don't have a co-caster, but JonSnow's actually going to bring in this Overlord, and he's going to scout that there's a fully saturated Nexus at the natural, and that gases are just taken now. So he's not going to go ahead. He's not going to lose his Overlord, but he knows that these gases are down, so he should expect something fishy. And that's what this Overlord is for. He's going in the main, and he's seeing that gas is being mined as well. If he clicks on it, he should see that there's about 600 gas mined between. So that's a fair amount of gas to be mined from the main. So getting all that scouting information, seeing these 2 gateways going down, this is going to be kind of a big timing for Strange, and JonSnow knows it, so he's getting his lair, he's getting some additional gas, starting his Zergling speed, and getting those roaches out to go ahead and try to get, excuse me, to try to defend from this.
Yes, Hawkeye, you're a survivor. So if you don't see this third go down, like the third is going down in 8 minutes, and what that tells me or anyone as a player is that if at a quick timing is something like 6:30 to 7 minutes, and with it going down at 8, you should know something's coming no matter what. JonSnow hasn't seen these gateways, but he knows his opponent's up to funny business. So, funny business is indeed afoot with so many gateways down, and this probe acting upon its malicious intent. Oh wow, JonSnow is sending out the units early, almost suspecting where he might find this pylon.
Yeah, and he's really close to it, and he might actually find it here. He's actually going in that direction, so we're going to see a little bit of an engagement, and surprise!
We're gonna see a preemptive engagement here. These sentries will completely clean up this little presumptive force. Those force fields, there was a lot of them, but he got a few roaches, some critical units at this juncture in the game. But I think JonSnow would consider that a fair trade. We have his opponent pressing in soon enough with this many gates. This Nexus is effectively a dud. We don't see much probe production start up until right now. And he might probe behind this, but for the moment, this is effectively a 7 gate, hitting at 10 minutes. JonSnow is spread out to receive this. He has a pretty decent army, but this is in fact a scary force. Never count force fields out.
Yeah, but he actually bait some force fields out.
That is fantastic, and this is why this is so good. Those force fields not only accomplish nothing, they prevent him from pushing for those 15 seconds. Now they're down, and he's going to try to push again, but JonSnow once again is going to force the force fields away from his hatchery. So there's no way Strange can press in and force a hatch kill or something that would allow him to stabilize. He's getting into this tight corner here. He doesn't have enough energy for a recall. I don't know if this is a good idea, but he's doing really good force field work. More reinforcements are coming in from this extremely close pylon. It's very close, but it looks like Strange might just be able to make this work. But like I said, it's going to be close. Really good arc coming out of JonSnow. The Hydras are popping and doing all their wonderful DPS. There's no upgrades for JonSnow, just for Strange having actually really good upgrades with the +1 shield and the +1 attack, and it's doing work for him. But still, that was really close, Hawkeye. Could have gone either way.
Yeah, definitely. Strange taking the second game in the series, so nice little timing by Strange, and he was just able to do a nice little push even after losing a couple of those force fields before the big engagement.
Very Lilbo-esque. Like, you see Lilbo did this a lot in his finals run for WCS. He would do this fake out where he would get that 8-minute Nexus, make it look like he was going Stargate or something by getting all his geysers, or something techie, and really just pound into his opponent with a 7-gate, or even more. So, worst case scenario, you can always fall back on your third Nexus, which you have, but he lost his mothership, so he was pretty all-in at that point. It would have been tough to defend counter-aggression of Hydras and Roaches with no Robo or anything like that. But, yeah. Hawkeye, who do you think's going to take this last game?
Personally, I'm an NA fanboy, so I want JonSnow to win. But Strange definitely showing that he can pack a punch going back this way too, and quickly as well. So Strange, definitely a big contender, but I think as a fellow Zerg player, I'm gonna have to go for JonSnow.
Same here. And I like JonSnow. He's fun to watch. He's your typical macro Zerg. He plays the game really, really standard, and he's always a pleasure to see it work. Getting into the game now, the countdown is winding up, and we have on Cactus